Hi, my name is Timmy and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video title is, just because you have a bad day doesn't mean you have a bad life. Watch to find out more. And I wasn't planning on making a video today, I was just cleaning, doing some other fashion content, and I felt really convicted to come and speak about this because I've gone through it so much in the last week or so that I thought whilst it was fresh in my mind, I wanted to come and speak about it. So, this video is learning how to cope with bad news or bad things happening in your life and not letting that skew your whole perspective on your life and thinking that your whole life is rubbish because bad things are happening. About a week ago, it's now February the 12th, I think, or the 11th, and the start of this year has not been the best start to a year I've had in my life. Just because some bad news, some things going wrong, some really bad things happening that I wasn't expecting. No one died or anything, just in terms of progress and whatever. And that really knocked me. I'll be honest and say I was very, very down for quite a few days and didn't feel like myself. And I think it was more just an accumulation of so many things going wrong for the last 6 or so weeks that, I'd had my hopes placed on certain things going a certain way, and if that had happened, then that would have changed so much. And those things just didn't happen. In fact, they didn't just not happen, they went worse than I could have ever imagined. And that for me was really tough because obviously I'd spent months, sometimes for some things a year, hoping that when this deadline came I would get this news and it would kind of be able to allow me to start a new chapter. And so I think the sudden realization that what I thought my life would be like from the start of this year going forward, or what I thought would happen, being ripped out from under me, really shocked me and really made me feel quite overwhelmed, and I really was not happy about that. But then and this is something I think I'm trying to share, is that it's very easy when those things happen to let those things become us, and I kind of became so consumed with how do I rectify this, and why did this happen, and why me, and why is my luck so bad, that I just wiped myself out and I wasn't motivated to even keep living happily. I stopped doing anything I enjoy in terms of content and editing and filming, and just even watching YouTube or watching TikToks and having fun. I removed any source of positivity or fun because I kind of not was punishing myself, but felt like I just didn't really want those things. I just was so down. So I would just work and come home and then kind of get on with house tasks and then just sit in bed and go to sleep. And I said, I'm going to stop doing content, I'm going to stop doing this, I'm going to stop doing that. I don't have time for that now. I need to just focus on getting my life together. And I think it's very easy to very quickly put yourself and isolate yourself into a bad situation that will actually make things worse. Because then when I wasn't doing anything I enjoyed or having fun, I was starting to feel sad and low because I wasn't getting any source of enjoyment or happiness. And I was like, well, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I was like, well, my life feels so lonely and boring and I'm sad, and do I have anything to be happy for? Because I created this kind of small isolated circle for myself, and I had to kind of, I spoke to my sister and she was like, just because something has happened, you always have to keep doing the things you enjoy that make you happy. Otherwise, if you take out the things that you actually know you definitely do enjoy and you do control that make you happy, and leave yourself with nothing enjoyable, then of course you're going to feel bad. But the one thing you can control is doing things that you enjoy. So if that's knitting or reading or going on a run or going to the gym or content or cooking, those are things you can control easily yourself, right? You just say, I'm going to make some food today, you go to the shop, you make the recipe, and you have an output, and you can be like, I'm glad I did that, I did something fun. Same with content, right? This just took me 5 minutes to set up my camera and put my light up and my microphone and check the settings, and then here I am. But I've been able to orchestrate a scenario for myself that will be enjoyable and fulfilling as a result of my own action. The inaction, the lack of action, the lack of choice, being passive in life, naturally means that these things won't happen, because my camera's not just going to set itself up. I'm not just going to speak to air, right? I have to kind of be proactive in doing stuff. And so it brings me back to this quote that I said at the start, right, which is, just because you have a bad day doesn't mean you have a bad life. And I think sometimes as people, it's very easy to kind of, and of course within reason, some things are devastating and world shattering, and those things take months to get over. So someone passing or a breakup, those things are hard. But I'm talking about the smaller things that maybe are really devastating, or bad news, or things that we weren't expecting or didn't think would happen to us in that way. Getting news that just is bad. And of course, I think I'm not saying that we shouldn't acknowledge that, oh, this is sad and unfair or upsetting or makes me unhappy. It's good to feel and process those emotions, but then at a certain point, I think you have to kind of feel like, okay, how long am I going to let this news take over and control my life and my mood? Because I was letting the bad news make me be in a bad mood, and then letting the bad mood affect my whole life and make my life feel like it was a bad thing. And so I just started getting up. I pushed myself to go for a run, and then I ran my first ever 10K, and I never ran for more than half an hour before, and I never ran for more than 5K either, and I ran 10K in an hour and 10 minutes, and that was the first time in the week that I got out really and really kind of like let me feel my body and just distract myself and just focus on breathing and existing and just people watching. And it was so refreshing and so exciting for me and so nice, because it was the first time I had done that in a long time. And it reminded me that it really is as simple as action and having control and making a decision to do something. And for me, it was just putting my shoes on, getting changed and going on a run. Once I started running and put myself in that space where I was doing something positive and that felt good, my body just kind of gobbled it up, and I wanted to run for longer, and I wanted to keep going, and the music was good, and I just felt like it was really refreshing. And if I hadn't have gone on that run, never would have done my 10K, never would have run my 10K, sorry, and never would have had that feeling. And now it's kind of shifted. It's been a mindset shift for me since yesterday. And I think, I don't know if other people like this, but sometimes I can be quite all or nothing. If things are going well and I'm getting good news and I'm doing well, and if things are going, I don't know if other people like this, but I can be quite all or nothing. If things are going well, or I'm happy with how things are going, or I'm getting good news consistently, I kind of start to get into stride and the swing of things and feel happy and positive. But then once something bad happens, or something falls out of track or out of order or is derailed, it kind of makes me feel like I have to derail everything and be like, well, you know, I'm gonna have to just stop everything now. So I stop eating well, I stop exercising, I stop cooking, I stop sticking to my goals, I stop taking my vitamins, I stop moisturizing, all those kind of things, right? Because I'm just gonna, these two things aren't going well, so actually scrap the whole thing. It's all, you know, screw it, it's all trash, I'm just gonna give up and just do the bare minimum. And then it means that when you finally start getting back into a good mood like I am now, you have to then rebuild all those habits. And that's why habits are important. I think keeping those things in place that you normally do, you put those habits in place or routines in place on purpose because they're important for you and they help you maintain structure and order and also positivity in your life. And once you rip those all away, of course everything starts to feel like kind of crap because there's nothing good going on. And so those structures you have in place, like sleeping at a certain time, or maybe reading every morning on the train, or taking your vitamins, or taking time to you know, make yourself a good meal every evening, or exercising, or whatever you do, those things that you put in as non-negotiables help you get those daily dosages of happiness and fulfillment and dopamine that you need in your life. And it's good to have friends. I think it's good to talk about things like this when they happen to you, because it was, you know, a lot of my friends helped me realize, okay, well, these things that you've gone through are bad and it's annoying and upsetting and unfair, but at the same time, you remember this thing that we spoke about last week that was really good and you should be really proud of, and remember you did that last month, and that's the first time you've ever done anything that big in your life. Like, well done, that's amazing. Or what about this success you had a few months ago that we spoke about, and that's still going to keep going and you're still reaping the benefits now. And so sometimes you need external factors to remind you that, okay, whilst I'm feeling like I'm down and nothing is worth it and nothing is important anymore, people that know you and trust you and love you can remind you about those parts of yourselves that maybe are a bit quieter in these times when you're stressful, and help you understand that you do have things to be happy about now, and also in the past, and also in the future, right? This might be a bad season, but there will be good things that will happen to you again, and those good things will always outweigh the bad things. It's just having to find the energy, remind yourself that you can keep pushing through to get to the next stage of something good happening, and eventually at one point you'll look back and this feeling and this mood and this moment or this week where you were wallowing and felt overwhelmed will feel such a distant memory, and you'll look back and be like, I can't believe I am where I am now, because when I was where I was then, looking back, I didn't think I'd ever get to this point. And now you'll be happy and in a good place, and things you want will have come to fruition. They would have, you know, manifested as you wished, and you'll look back and be like, I'm so glad I kept going, so if I had given up then, I wouldn't be here. And that's what I'll end with, the final quote that I saw someone say on TikTok actually, which was, if you quit today, the only thing you know for certain is that you cannot win because you've pulled yourself out of the race. And that's what kind of helped me get back up. Was like, okay, fine, I've had this bad news, I've been knocked a little bit and had this blow. But if I give up now and quit everything I've worked so hard for up until this point, and things that I love, and just become a normal person that just has no hobbies and has no interests and just does, you know, the bare minimum living of working, eating and watching TV, there's no way I'll ever get to where I wanted to be, because obviously at that point I'm not even trying, so there's no chance of it happening. And I don't want to be the reason that I don't get to where I want to be. If I'm the one to blame because I gave up, I'll never live that down. I'll never be happy with that. I'll never be happy with that. So I think I had to remind myself that you've been doing these things and working hard on these goals for so long because they are important to you, and you've been consistent. Like, don't let one bad thing ruin consistency, because consistency is the one thing that's in my control. And I know that I have big goals and dreams and visions that are all within reach if I keep going and keep applying myself and practicing and learning and bettering myself and sticking to the goals and, you know, targets I set myself. eventually I know that I will, you know, God willing, if I like be able to achieve those things. And I really truly believe that, and I have hope in myself that I can do that. I just have to not give up and keep going. And what separates the successful from the not so successful is the successful people keep going, and they're determined, and they revitalize themselves, and they reinvent themselves, and they keep, you know, adapting as things change and go wrong, and they don't give up, and they keep going until they get to where they got to. No one that's successful got to where they got to by giving up. They had to keep going at something, even if it was maybe more lucky than you or quicker. There is an element of persistency and continuity that's important. So that is what I've realized. And so I'm back here. I filmed some fashion content in the living room earlier for my TikTok and my Instagram, and I'm filming a YouTube video. I'm gonna go to the gym later. I'm gonna go and see some friends, and I'm feeling way more positive. So this is a video that I hope, if you're going through a down patch or a bad week or a bad month, or you're just feeling down, you want to give up, you're not feeling motivated, I understand. The last week was like that for me, but don't give up, keep going, dust your shoulders off, dust your head off. And as someone said to me today, we fall 9 times, but we get up 10. So you might fall down repeatedly and repeatedly 9 times, but on the 10th time, we always get up. We always get up 10 out of 9 times. And so don't let it get you down, right? You can keep falling and having these battles, but we're always going to get up at the final count when it matters. And so if you can do this, I can do this. Have a good Sunday. It's Sunday today. It's sunny outside for once in the UK, which is probably affecting my mood. Have a good week, and thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe. Please do comment as well. I love seeing people commenting. I've seen a few comments on the last few videos, and it's been really nice to see people engaging. So please, again, if you're watching this, comment, let me know what you think, if you could relate, if you've been through something similar. Yeah, let me know if you liked the video, and if you have any other topics you'd like to see me talk about, or any other suggestions for videos for me to do, please comment, because I actually do love taking inspiration from other videos I see on YouTube, but also what people suggest for me to do. So comment and let me know titles you'd like to see me talk about, and I will do them. But other than that, thanks so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and see you on the next video. Goodbye.